Good morning, everyone. Back again for the Magic12. Just a quick note that I want everybody to be aware of. Tuesday, January 22nd, I won't be here, so I'll probably do my reading on January the 21st, which is on a Monday. Tuesday, I have other obligations and I just won't be here, so bear with me, and I hope you all understand, but I will make, if I remember, I'll make a note of that at the end of the meeting as well. Okay? Now, to go back to where we left off, and again, I can never seem to get this thing centered right. Back to Psycho-Cybernetics and Self-Fulfillment. That's the book we're reading out of. So, we went through the, let me see here real quick. Yeah, we went through the clearing, I think that's what it is. Clearing Anyway, to start off the day, we're going to start with your search for fulfillment. So, get a little water here. I'm going to start reading now. Man's search for fulfillment has occupied minds of thinkers throughout recorded history. Philosophers, social reformers, political manipulators, utopian theorists, economic planners, all manner of men have looked for the solution in various plans involving systems of thinking and orderings of social forces. I put the emphasis in this great search for yours where I feel it belongs. On you. On the health and strength of your self-image. On your ability to think clearly, coherently, and rationally. In this chapter, we have analyzed the nature of clear thinking, factors underlining it, and factors contributing to its power and scope. I believe it will help you to use your thinking power more constructively and to propel you along that superbly paved highway leading to your self-fulfillment. Now that is the end of that chapter. And so we're going to start on now chapter 4. Chapter 4, the name of the chapter is 10 Steps Towards Relaxation. And again, I might add, I think relaxation is a very important aspect of what we do. I think it's very important that we learn how to relax and not get anxious and excited and, just, how should I say, getting out of control. Anyway, let's start the reading. The search for relaxation is one of the great searches of our time. It is a treasure hunt without end, for we seek relaxation ceaselessly, hungrily, in an age of frantic disturbed people who have forgotten how to relax. Many people feel this goal. Relaxation is unattainable in these hustle-bustle times, in this oh so uncertain world. Yet this search is such an important one. It is a golden goal that we seek, an inner quiet, an untroubled sea that flows within us, a music of sweet violins and gently tingling bells, relaxation. And as we go about our work, focusing on our major goal of self-fulfillment, we must study the multiply factors that contribute to relaxation. For without relaxation, without inner peace, there can be no self-fulfillment that lasts. The life process seems to be such that you do not very often get something for nothing. No genie stands at your beck and call, waiting to serve you a magic dish called relaxation. Far from it. Relaxation is a personal quest, a personal achievement, and you must step out and fight for it. It will not come over you because you have a bank account, an automobile, a Suntan, S-U-N-T-A-N, I think I know what that means, a house, a host of servants, an expensive piano, or a penthouse. It will not come over you because you own stocks or real estate or a mansion that others envy. All these elements of material success may be important and useful, and they may be helpful to you, but they will not automatically bring you relaxation. You must bring yourself relaxation. In 10 steps, I will shortly spell them out for you. But first, a few more words about relaxation. Now, it may be true that if you take relaxation and try to put it as a down payment on a house, you may see others looking at you warningly as if they'd like to put you in a cage. And if you take your relaxation and try to deposit it into the bank, you might catch the bank teller monitoring the policeman to move a little closer, just in case. All right, so it's not tangible, but it is nonetheless precious. And its preciousness is alive in a rich, interactive process. You give your relaxation to others and you help them enormously. Others give their relaxation to you and you feel stirrings of gratitude welling within you that make you glad you're alive. Or on the contrary, may be true. Suppose you go to a restaurant. You're with friends and you're all in a good mood. You all sit around a table and waiter comes over to take your order. He is extremely nervous and fidgety. You feel sympathetic and try to make him feel at ease. But still, why does he keep hovering over the table, rustling to rearrange your silverware? You have already arranged it. To refill your glass of water, you only taken a tiny sip, and to ask why you signaled him, you just happened to glance in his general direction. In a few minutes, your waiter's lack of relaxation has become contagious. You and your companions gradually get more fidgety, and you fidget your way through what might have been a pleasant and relaxing dinner. I give this, of course, only as an example, and my feeling is one of sympathy for anyone who is nervous and harassed in his work, as is this imaginary waiter of mine. But it is an example of the importance of relaxation, of its infectiousness and power, and of the negative and spreading results when this quality is missing in people. It is a key stop on the road to self-fulfillment. If you bypass this stop, you will not get to your intended destination. So now we're going to give another one of these breakdowns. Very well known in this particular book for them to do this. And this is titled, back to the book now, Relaxation for You. And now your 10 steps towards relaxation. Let me spell them out for you. And of course, they have spelled it out, relaxation. So, starting with number 1, R, requirements for relaxation. Number 2, E, enjoyment. Number 3, L, looking for leisure. Number 4, A, acquiring goals for self-fulfillment. And 5, X, X marks the spot for your inner revolution. 6 is A, adventure in lifelong youth. 7 is T, triumph over tension. 8 is I, insurance for true security. 9 is O, overcoming the pitfalls of tomorrow. And N is nostalgia for mental tone. We will go up these steps one at a time, no escalator, no quick 10-second digest. Are we ready? Say back to the book, and starting with number 1, requirements for relaxation. We need certain requirements or techniques for any undertaking, a plan and a beginning, middle, and ending for the implementation of this plan. If we aim at achieving relaxation, we must first of all set this as our goal. We must understand what we MEAN, we mean by relaxation. By relaxation, I do not mean merely physical relaxation. I do not advocate an attempt to achieve physical relaxation anyway, by either sustained effort or intricate diplomacy. In relaxation to sleep, for example, many people who count sheep stay awake, and others may drink hot milk at bedtime only to find themselves with a gastrointestinal upset. Your forebrain is the vital area in which you activate your drive towards self-fulfillment through relaxation, but you cannot use your forebrain for willful direction or for forcing the materialization of your goal. Once you desire it, you move toward relaxation when you use your servo mechanism in the midbrain that works subconsciously to achieve for you relaxation. Therefore, in moving toward relaxation, you let your servo mechanism serve you in its way. You do not attempt to force it your way. Realizing this, you will understand that physical activities can prepare you for relaxation without necessarily accomplishing it. The execution is subconscious, and when this is done, you relax in all ways, including physically. Then you contribute nothing toward your relaxation. Of course you do. You trigger it all off yourself with desire to relax, overcoming negative feelings that block your desire to relax, building your self-image, your ability to live with pressure, number 2, enjoyment. Relaxation means enjoyment, which involves an ability to live with happiness without spoiling it, and an ability to survive misfortune and bounce back with the elasticity of a rubber band to your better self. The person who can enjoy rises above festivity and feels an excitement when he thinks of new experiences. He's not afraid of newness and of change. He lives for the moment and turns his back on the past. He encourages relaxation because he encourages joyful living. The frightened, tense person may give others the power to judge him and find him wanting. But you be your own judge, a wise and compassionate judge, and pass a gentle judgment upon yourself. Not guilty. Not guilty of being a criminal. Not guilty of being inferior. Not guilty of being an unworthy human being who deserves punishment. Instead, you see that you are a human being who does not have to reach perfection, who deserves to be happy and to cultivate his capacity for enjoyment, the birthright of all human beings. Not guilty. Enjoy and relax. Let me tell you a story. A man came to see me. He said he needed help. Would I talk to him? I said I would. We sat in my living room, and I looked at him. In his middle or late 40s, an angry-looking man. He was not enjoying meeting me. He seemed as if he enjoyed little, if anything, in life. He told me about himself. He was a construction worker, and this had been his occupation for many years. He had been one of the men who had helped erect the many new skyscrapers in Manhattan in recent years. You have good work, I said. Good, honest work. You are a man who builds. His face was very serious. I guess so, he said. Have you been doing this a long time? His hair was gray, his face tight. Quiet a while. Why did you come to see me? I asked. I've never liked myself, he said. I can't stand myself. I asked why. Well, I don't know, but I just don't like myself. I looked at him. I did not think his over-serious expression was temporary. He looked as if he didn't know what it meant to enjoy something. How could I help him? I asked him more questions about himself. He told me about something that had obsessed him for all his life in school. As a youngster, a teacher had said he was stupid. Wow, has anybody told you that? They told me that for sure. Back to the book. And that he would never amount to anything. Sounds familiar to me. He had never forgotten the teacher's remark and had adopted this critical attitude towards himself. After this, he had done poorly in school. He had failed a number of subjects. His grades in others were barely passing. More than once, he had been tempted to cheat on exams. He had resisted this urge, but finally had dropped out of school, and ever since, he had considered himself a failure. In a sense, this was ironical because he had achieved quite a lot since. Getting into the construction industry when help was badly needed, he had held his job for many years. He had been a soldier in the war. And finally, he married and stayed married and was in the process of raising 5 children. His oldest daughter, in college, had been reading my book, Cybernetics. He had borrowed her copy and read it, too. He had liked it and decided to come to see me. Maybe I could help him. I don't like myself, he repeated. I haven't liked myself since I was a kid. I asked, why not? What do you think is wrong with you? I don't know, he said again, but I feel angry and defeated. Sometimes I'm there, way up there, doing my work, and I ask myself, why don't I just jump and get it over with? And there's my wife and kids. I can't do it because of them. And yourself, your life, your self-respect. He shrugged his shoulders. You want to know what I think? He nodded gloomily. If you want to jump, I said, don't jump from a skyscraper. Jump from the negative person you feel you are to the successful person you are sometimes. Me? Successful? He looked somber. You think that's funny, I said. Why don't you smile if you think it's funny? Why should I? Because you don't seem to ever smile at all. Doc, he said, what in the hell do I have to smile about? See yourself with some perspective, I said. You've had failures, but no person alive doesn't feel he's a failure sometimes. I've failed. Why shouldn't you? Everyone fails sometime. But look at your successes. Get away from the past and look at what you've accomplished. All these years working steadily, doing your work. You're an adult, working as an adult, married with 5 children. To have 5 children growing up, a girl in college, you have supported them with your hard work and watched them grow, and you don't think this is a success? It was not much of a smile in his face, but it was a smile. I never thought of things that way, he said. Stop dwelling on your failures, I said. You've had successes too. Think of them, and then you'll be able to smile more and to know what enjoyment is. Thanks, he said. I said, keep in touch, I said. Number 3, looking for leisure. Looking for leisure is an active and complicated process. You may think it is simple. It is not. We are not simply work machines. The good worker, the productive person who knows how to seek leisure and how to use it for relaxation. The person who takes his work with him wherever he goes may not even work well. For often such a person will find himself tied up in knots of tension, blocked off from escape and renewal, carrying his frustrations and fatigues into his work, drowning his powers of concentration in his overflowing pool of trouble. You're too busy. Too many demands are made on you. It's possible I'll grant, but I don't really believe this. Many demands are made on me. I write, I lecture, I practice plastic surgery. I have personal responsibilities, but I find leisure time. I will not tolerate not finding it. I owe it to myself. You must feel this way too. Solitude is a way of life, maybe self-defeating evasion of responsibility, but small doses of solitude are often therapeutic. You can then refresh, return to other people, bringing to them the relaxation you gave yourself with your positive use of your leisure time. You can use your precious time to find new interests, new goals, new sides of yourself, new sides to your loved ones. Number 4, acquiring goals for self-fulfillment. To relax, you must define your goals, recognize your limits, know when it's time to stop working and play a little. If your goals are demanding and intricate, you must develop the ability to sense when it's time to pack in your day's work and find oases of non-demanding peace. Stop expecting the impossible of yourself. Impossible means just that, not possible. You can only do so much. You're not an army or a huge corporation. You're just one human being. Limiting your goals reasonably is very important. You must consider many factors: age, temperament, the strength of your self-image, economic status, and so on. My point is that if you set goals which constantly test the limits of your capacities, you will feel tense and frustrated, and chances are your temper will be continually on edge. When I was a boy living in New York City, crowded Lower East Side, I could run all day and often did. I would have fun in all our chose up games of baseball and stickball and all kinds of other games. And I could summer vacation, spend a whole day running and throwing and catching and arguing. These were my goals and I liked them fine. Would I do this today? Would you? At any age? Of course not. This is obvious. Factors such as age are easily seen as limiting tangible physical activities. You must learn to be just as sensitive in perceiving other, more suitable limits that you must place on your goals. Refuse to drive yourself beyond your capacities, relaxation, and pressure. Just don't go together. At times, it is true that under the stress of external forces, you may be compelled to overextend yourself and then do things you don't like. But that's not a lifetime. You must be resilient and bounce back to yourself and reach out for new goals. Number 5, X marks the spot for your inner revolution. This revolution is taking place inside you now, and it is a special kind of revolution. No bloodshed, no violence, no quiet rebirth of your true self. Probing, you seek to find out who you are. You seek to discover and integrate the best parts of yourself. When you find them, and find them in spite of the turmoil and trouble in our most confused and difficult universe, you will be moving towards relaxation. In this revolution, you do not take to the streets. You need no sticks or stones. Your aim is not destruction at all. You seek only to construct. All you really need is a chair. An X marks the spot where you sit in your chair. Your think chair, which is not a stationary chair. Your think chair implies motion. Not motion back and forth like a rocking chair, but a force more dynamic. Your think chair is your launching pad in which you take off, jet propelled on the most exciting adventure of your life, inside yourself, to the good within you, and away from yourself to find the good in others, remembering that though you, in your think chair, build a strong, proud, independent island within yourself, still you belong on the mainland with your human brothers and sisters. In your creative growth, you aspire and you relax. Your think chair is your magic carpet. Having taken a creative and healing look within yourself, you are now able to travel far and wide with greater insight into the world of reality. The brilliant Celis Plateau. I believe somebody is here. Is that Sandy?
Yeah, hi Robert. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I don't know why it won't take my name and leave it there. Every time I rename it, it changes it back to my email again.
How strange.
Well, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Just reading through the book and going on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's generally what I do. And then as I'm reading, hey, there's Sandy.
Yeah.
I see your name up there.
I had to change it. Yep.
Well, let's hope it stays there this time.
Yes. Let's hope.
Anyway, you came in just at the right time because I have CELLIST. I don't know what that is.
CELLISG.
T like in Tom. And then it says capital PABLO. And then it's CASALS.
And that's in the book?
Yeah, it says the brilliant Celis Pablo Causa. I'll go ahead and start reading, okay?
Okay.
Recently celebrated his 90th birthday. Many people his age would talk gloomingly of death or of illness. He talked instead of rebirth, of how each day he was reborn. You must too, at your age. And let me go back real quick. What I'm reading from is Psychocybernetics, and we're on chapter 4, and it's called The 10 Steps Towards Relaxation. And I've read the first 5 parts of that, and I'm starting number 6. Okay?
Okay.
And then I might add that the beauty of this is that you can cut in and make suggestions, or you can cut in and ask a question as I'm reading, because that always makes it more, what's the word I'm looking for? More interactive. That's the word.
Interactive, yeah. That makes sense.
So to continue, number 6, adventure in lifelong youth. I'm going to. You stay young. Your age does not matter. This is high adventure. For many people, surrender to age, bow before it, and fear it more than reality justifies. But you, even if you are 60 or 65 or even older, you refuse to obsess yourself with thoughts of your age. You feel young, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
You renounce physical activities that your age excludes you from, but your thinking is young. It is new, and it is fresh. You renounce the passive life of many older people. You live actively. You renounce the yesterday type thinking of many older people. You live today. And of course, being an alcoholic, that's already part of my fiber of my existence. I live one day at a time.
Yeah.
Back to the book. And in this youthfulness, you can relax, young or old. And if you read these words and are young in age, they can be of value to you today. In thinking of your latter years as years of adventure, of excitement, of full living and full participation in the world. Sometimes when I'm reading, I don't realize I've come to the end of that particular part, so it sounds strange because you're expecting me to go on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
and then of course, go ahead.
It's true that, it's age is in your head. It just, I'm 81. I'm still doing real estate. And people keep saying to me, I can't believe you're still doing real estate. Well, why not? I mean,
Well,
and,
why not? Yeah.
Doug has been my legs. Like, I don't generally go upstairs in houses or downstairs in houses unless we've got a very interested buyer. Then I want to see what I'm selling.
Right.
But he usually does that. And, he does the outside and the legwork, like in the yard. So there's really no reason why I can't do it.
Absolutely not.
And
Well, I jokingly tell people that I'm going to live to be 150.
why not? Right.
And I believe it. I probably won't, but I believe it.
The Lord says he's not going to take you till you're ready to go. So.
That's right. I got too many things left to do.
Yeah.
Since you're on here, I might just throw in real quickly. I did make a note on the front of the video, and of course you can go back and listen to these if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But January 22nd is a Tuesday, and I won't be doing it on Tuesday because I have to be somewhere else.
Okay.
So next week I'll probably do it Monday, and then Thursday and Saturday. But Tuesday I have to be somewhere.
Okay. Are you going to remind us, like in the chat room or something?
Yeah, I'll probably, I think I've got your email address, and if I don't, I should write it down so I can put it in my area with True United that I send out to all my people.
Yeah.
And before it's over, I'll get your email.
Okay.
I think I have it somewhere, but I just don't know for sure.
Okay.
Anyway, back to reading. And of course, like I said before, real quick, I love this because as I continue this through the year, at the end of the year, I will have read more books than I've ever read in 1 year in my life. And I think that's pretty exciting. So anyway, just a little tap on the head. All right, back to the book. Number 7, Triumph Over Tension. We are in the jet age. Jets whiz through our skies, bringing California close to New York, Detroit close to Paris, making the entire world a smaller place. This acceleration has many advantages, speaking for myself. I can lecture for several days in Denver, Colorado, and in no time be back in New York to attend my affairs there. So this speed helps me. Still, the rapid pace seems to have increased our tensions. Look at the people around you, and you can see the tension in face, voices, hands, internally. Invisible to you, this tension may be expressed in terms of spasms or stomach or intestines. How do we triumph over these tensions? Muscles tense, contracting without purpose or more than they should. Your forehead is ceased into a frown. Your upper lip is raised. You repress a crying spell. The muscles around your eyes may twitch. You may breathe heavily with your chest muscles when you should be breathing from your abdomen. I never could pronounce that.
Yeah.
In your mouth, if your mouth is not open, you grit your teeth or bite your lips and overuse the muscles around your chin. Now, how do we triumph? How do we change this space of tension to one of relaxation? Awareness of this abuse of your muscular musculature. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but
Yeah, musculature.
yeah, does not necessarily constitute a cure. You must realize that your muscles are working so hard because of disturbances of your mind.
Mm.
Therefore, proceed to the source of the trouble, your mind. And to do this, suppose your imagination that your mind has a face. Now keep your imagination alive and see a frown of confusion on the face of your mind. Teeth gritted and jaw firm. Now open your mouth in your imagination and smile slightly. Relaxation will follow because you cannot have a tense face with an open mouth as well as a slight smile. Carry this further, unclench your hands, open them up, and unclench them again. Feel better. Now take a little time, even 5 minutes will help, and talk to yourself. Tell yourself that God created you to succeed, not fail.
God created me to succeed, not fail.
Absolutely correct. I like that. That he made you a unique and special individual. Tell yourself that you have more than shortcomings, that you are a worthwhile person, that you have done good things in your life, and we all have. That was my quote.
Mm.
Remind yourself of your past successes and see them again. Close your eyes so you can concentrate to your fullest capacity and to visualize these past successes. Bring them into your mind and live through them once again until this feeling of success that you once knew, even if for a few moments, lives again. Remember that you are much more than a failure. Now, one more thing. Close your eyes again and see in your imagination a geyser, I guess that, Geyser.
Yeah, geyser.
This geyser is blowing off steam. Think of this symbolically. Think of it as symbolic release of tensions, as release of stress. And even if or only a few minutes, let the tensions flow from you like the steam flows from the geyser. I've learned that I need water.
Yeah, when you're reading them.
Yeah. I want to tell you about a woman who won out over her tensions. Oh, got to hold just for a second. My phone's ringing. I'll be right back. I left my phone over somewhere else so that it wouldn't seem so loud.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm going to start here. We might go over this, but I'm going to start here. Remind yourself of your past successes and see them again. Close your eyes so you can concentrate on your fullest capacity and visualize these past successes. Bring them into your mind and live through them once again until this feeling of success that you once knew, even if it was for a few moments, lives again. Remember that you are much more than a failure. Now, one more thing. Close your eyes again and see in your imagination a geyser. We read that, didn't we?
Mm.
I'm going to go ahead and jump down. I want to tell you about a woman who won out over her tensions. She had undergone a severe deprivation, deprivation, deprivation. Her husband had died. He was no youngster. They were both about 60. Still, his death had been a great shock. She had loved him and found that she could not relax. She had a grown-up daughter. There was solace in this, but still she found time heavily on her hands. And tension and constant companion. Money, fortunately, was no worry to her. Her husband had left her in a secure position. But time, what to do with time in which she lived empty and tense? She decided it was the moment for action. She had to bring life back into her life. And she did this in a simple, realistic way. What could a woman her age do? Well, she could become a babysitter. She became a babysitter. She was a friendly, companionable person. It suited her personality, and soon she had a substantial clientele. She was in enormous demand. Her telephone was ringing every day. She could not accommodate all the harsh, pressured mothers who needed help. Spending time with children cheered her. These cuties, their joy brought something into her life that made her feel more alive. And then she then gave them back good cheer. And like a volleyball player, back and forth went the good cheer, and life led to more life. In her 60s, abandoning the passion concepts of retirement, finding not only BALM, I never have been able to pronounce that, for her wounds, but using her work to bring her happiness and relief from tension. She did not find utopia. How could she? But she did the best she could with the reality at hand, and in doing this, won a victory over her internal tensions. Number 8, insurance for true security. One of the reasons I cough a lot is because of my sinus, and I'm working on getting rid of that.
Good.
It's actually improved, believe it or not, but it's still there. Okay, number 8, insurance for true security. Most people protect themselves with all kinds of insurance. They protect their lives, they protect their house, they protect their automobiles, and we have today increasing numbers of complicated and interrelated insurance policies. Many serve their purpose well. However, if you want true security and a big jump toward achieving self-fulfillment, relaxation may be your best insurance policy. Here are a few suggestions for taking out insurance you need. A, stop fearing failure. This is a negative and will only make you tense. The successful, relaxed person knows he will fail sometimes and takes failure in his stride. B, stop expecting perfection. You cannot expect perfection either in yourself, others, or in circumstances. Every day will bring its problem. its conflicts, its defeats. Expect this and you'll feel better. C, stop selling yourself short. Remember that you are a human being with dignity, and stop deriding yourself with criticisms that are more worthy of an enemy. Number 9, overcoming the pitfalls of tomorrow. A relaxed person lives in the present. He does not mope around dreaming of tomorrow. And indeed, idle dreaming is not relaxation, but evasion that ends up in defeat and tension. The tomorrow type thinker, that longtime member of the huge worldwide Mania Incorporated, never gets anything done. Days and weeks and months and years float by as he keeps putting things off until tomorrow. And this tomorrow does not come around too often. We need leisure to better ourselves, to take stock of ourselves, to have fun, and to rest up from life's crisis. But this has nothing to do with the pitfall of saying to yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Again and again, when what you may really mean is never. The Mania Incorporated tomorrow, it does not matter what you call it. It all leads to failure. Move on your goals. Move on them in spite of all conflicts, imperfections, troubles, crises, and just move on and then do them. Even if you fail, you will feel more relaxed because you will know you've done your best. And if you succeed, well, you just may feel great. So I'm looking at the clock, so I'm going to mark my book here. And then on Thursday, we'll come back and start on number 10, which will be Nostalgia for Mental Tone. And that should be very interesting. I do try to keep these down to an hour, sometimes a little less, every once in a while a little more. But because I think that any longer than an hour, most people are not going to hang around that long.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody's so busy. I won't be on the call tonight or Thursday. I've got commitments both nights, so I won't be talking to you guys. And that's not going to change because this is going to go on for probably till summer. My Bible studies are all Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday. So I don't know, unless we can get Reverend Dave to change the time of the call, maybe Monday night or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can talk to him about that because it might be to everybody's advantages if he could change that, and I'll make a note of that. I'll do that right now. Monday nights.
I want to talk to him anyway. I really don't know what I'm going to do because with the gift certificates, there just isn't going to be enough money, and I don't use any of the brands. Yeah. So it's going to get dicey. I've got to figure out what to do to make some money. The retail brands used to get me through because I used to spend, money I was going to spend anyway. So. Right. But with the gift certificates, you're just not making any money with those. So. No. I don't know. I got to talk to him. The only thing I can think of is, and I've listened to Steve, and I know Steve's always talking about $100 a month on points. But I quite frankly think that, in my case particularly, I try to get at least 30. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 30. Because at least if somebody buys something that's under you, you get a matching amount. You get a matching.
I'll tell you a true story about myself because I sold insurance years and years and years ago, and I would go out and I would sell $10,000 policies, $25,000 policies, and I had my boss tell me one time. He says, "You know, Frank, you need to move up in the company, and the only way you can do that is when you change the people that you're around. You've started here, and you're dealing with the average blow Joe person who can only afford $10,000,
Mm.
a month because of the cost of the premium and so on. But as you do your business, you're going to gradually grow, and there's going to come a time where you're going to start talking to the business person or so and so and so and so." Well, 6 months later, I ended up talking to a business owner, but he didn't want insurance. He wanted health insurance for employees. So I talked to my boss and I said, "What do I need to do?" And of course, he told me what I needed to do. And so I spent literally 6 months on this individual, going over all these documents and what he needed and how much he needed, and what he was going to get out of it by helping his employees. Well, 6 months later, I sold $1 million policy.
Oh, good for you. That's great.
Yeah, and I got an award for it. I got it
Oh,
around here
okay.
somewhere. But he proved something to me, and that again is, thinking about your successes. I think that too many people talk about up here, when in reality, if I can get just my 12 people, because that's what this is all about, the Magic 12. God Jesus had 12 apostles and changed the world. So I don't
Hmm.
need more than 12. So when I talk about that and I'm thinking about that 12, I'm not thinking about 100. I'm thinking about
Right.
30. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, I want this business to grow, and so I'm going to do what it takes to keep my foot in the water, so to speak.
Hmm.
And whether it's 6 months or 2 years, it doesn't make any difference to me. At some point, I'm going to be able to reach that point where I can do $100 every month, maybe $200 a month. But I don't want to start there because I just happen to believe, and I read these books, and I just happen to believe, if you're new to this business, you got to start out new. Baby crawls before it walks, and that's what we got to do. And it's that simple. I know too many people above, the sponsors on top of us, they want us, to hustle and bustle and hustle and bustle. And that's why I like reading. I'm going to relax and say, hey, I'm going to do what I can.
Yeah.
And if that
Well, it's
bothers you,
the same way with, the real estate. I mean, what pays the money, what pays the bills rather, is the property management. It's 1,000 or so a month, regular, steady. You don't have to depend on a commission from the sale of a house. And really, what's always been the bulk of the market is the $100,000 house. I mean, that's what people are buying.
yep.
So you start small, and when the 500,000 and the $600,000 house come along, well, it's just gravy. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But you need to just concentrate on doing what you can.
Yep.
And
Well, real quick, I'm going to do just one thing here. So bear with me for just a minute.
okay.
For all people that come to the Magic 12, you can go to YouTube, just search Magic 12, and you should be able to find me. But right this moment, I am going to discontinue this recording, and I will see you hopefully on Thursday, which is 2 days from now at 9 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. And I thank you for being here or looking at my videos. Thank you, and have a wonderful, great day, and may God bless you in everything you do. Amen.